power includes the determination of whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of any branch or instrumentality of government. Sinabi po dito, any branch, kasama po dyan ang Senado. Pwedeng sabihin ng Supreme Court na may grave abuse ang Senado. Pwedeng sabihin yon. Pwede niya ring sabihin sa House yon. Pwede niyang sabihin sa kahit anong branch of government. Yan po ang nakasulat sa ating Constitution. In Francisco versus House of Representatives, the Supreme Court ruled that, and the judiciary in turn, with the Supreme Court as the final arbiter, effectively checks the other departments in the exercise of its power to determine the law, and hence to declare executive and legislative acts void if violative of the Constitution. So sinabi talaga dito, possible na ang Executive Act, ang Legislative Act ay maging void. In case of conflict, the Judicial Department is the only constitutional organ which can be called upon to determine the proper allocation of powers between the several departments and among the integral or constituent units thereof. The House of Representatives urged the Supreme Court to exercise judicial restraint. Sabi ng House, hinay-hinay lang, Supreme Court, so that you can avoid encroaching upon the powers of the legislature and violating the principle of separation of powers. However, the Supreme Court in Duterte versus HREP held that there is a clear and demonstrable textual commitment in the Constitution for the court to act on any grave abuse of discretion of any branch or instrumentality of government. This includes the House of Representatives or the Senate in their exercise of their prerogatives with respect to the process of impeachment. Grave abuse of discretion from the provision does not mean actions without jurisdiction. It includes acts which originally may have been within their discretion, but subsequently the subject of a violation of a constitutional right. This is what is meant by excess of jurisdiction. This court does not decide whether and when to initiate a case of impeachment. However, the court has the power to decide how the provisions which limit the exercise are to be interpreted. On due process, numerous Supreme Court decisions expound on procedural due process in various contexts. These cases underscore the Supreme Court's enduring commitment to uphold procedural due process as a safeguard against arbitrary government action. Bakit po pumasok itong issue na due process? Kasi sinabi ng Supreme Court, hindi naman nagkaroon ng pagkakataon ang Vice President na makita ang complaint sa kanya, hindi rin nakita ang mga ebidensya. Due process exists kahit saan daw pong parte ng paggogobyerno natin. Based on the decision, in order to proceed with the impeachment proceedings, the House prosecutors must show not only a valid ground thereof, but also that procedural due process has properly been observed, as this safeguards individuals from the arbitrary exercise of government power by requiring adherence to fair procedures. As such, when there is a violation of due process as enshrined under the Constitution, the case must be dismissed. Kailangan ba ng Senado sumunod sa Korte Suprema? Sinabi ko po at uulitin ko na ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, void ab initio nga po ang kaso. Walang bisa. In Latin, void ab initio means void from the beginning. Sa umpisa pa lang, void. It indicates that something was never valid or legally effective from its inception, rather than becoming invalid at a later point in time. So sa umpisa pa lang, invalid. Hindi siya naging invalid later on, invalid siya sa umpisa pa lang. Absolutely non-existence from the very beginning. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng ab initio. Null and void. It produces no rights, imposes no duties, and affords no protection. It has no legal effect. It is, in legal contemplation, inoperative, as if it has not been passed. As such, it cannot justify an official act taken under it. Yun po ang basihan ng aking desisyon. It cannot justify an official act taken under it. Hindi ho pwede nating pasukin. Gustuhin man natin alamin. Kapareho ho ako ng napakaraming kababayan natin na gusto nating alamin kung ano ba ang mga issue na to. Pero sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi ho natin pwedeng gawin yun. We have to follow the rules. At idadagdag ko, nang sanabi nga ng Supreme Court, ay ito ay immediately executory. Again, the decision stated the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to convene itself as an impeachment court. As such, there is no constitutional authority to even convene as an impeachment court. I am a member of the Senate and I am a lawyer. I am bound by my solemn oath. Nag-oath po tayo last week lang. Ang sabi dun sa oath, I will well and faithfully discharge to the best of my ability the duties of my position. Ginusto ko ba to? Do I want to be a judge here? Hindi po. Nung nag-aral po ako ng law, sabi ko, Lord, wag niyo akong gawing judge. I hate being a judge. Malambot po ang puso ko. Kung pwede, lahat innocent. Yun ho ang gagawin ko. Kasi napakahirap humusga ng ibang tao. But this is my solemn duty. It is my duty. I took an oath. And therefore, gustuhin ko man o hindi, I have to make a decision. And binabase ko ang aking desisyon kung ano ang sinabi ng Supreme Court. Yun naman po aming lawyer's oath. I do solemnly swear that I accept the honor, the privilege, duty, and responsibility of practicing law in the Philippines as an officer of the court in the interest of our people. I declare fealty to the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. Idudugtong ko yung oath na yon dun sa sinabi ng Supreme Court na kailangan sundin ang Constitution. At siya ho ang magpapaliwanag kung paano i-interpret ang Constitution. My duty as a senator and as a lawyer is to be guided by evidence, by the rule of law, and by the principles enshrined in our Constitution. For these reasons, Mr. President, I cast my vote as yes. Thank you.
Mr. President, I have more than expressed myself on this issue. Just in addition, a lingering question. How can the Senate archive something that is not before it? The articles are before the impeachment court. Therefore, I cast a negative vote.
Thank you, Minority Leader, Senator Soto.
Senator
Secretary.
Tulfo Erwin.
Senator Erwin Tulfo is recognized to explain his vote.
Ginoong Pangulo, mga kapwa kong senador at sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Bumoto po ako ng yes sa mosyón na sumasang-ayon sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema sa impeachment case laban kay Vice President Duterte. Ito po ay hindi sa gusto kong iligtas ang Vice Presidente, kundi dahil malinaw ang sinasabi ng ating batas at mas malinaw pa ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema na ito po ay labag sa konstitusyon. Alinsunod po sa one-year bar rule, hindi maaring magsampa muli ng impeachment complaint ng 1 taon matapos ang naunang reklamo. Ayon po sa kataas-taasang hukuman, ito ay nalabag. At bilang mambabatas, hindi ako pwedeng pumikit na lang sa harap ng isang tahasang paglabag sa ating saligang batas. At para saan o ano pa ang saysay ng panunumpa natin noong nakaraang linggo sa tungkulin na nakasaad doon na that I will protect and defend the Constitution kung ito ay susuwin lang naman natin. Ngunit, linawin ko ito. Ang boto kong ito ay hindi para i-absuelto si VP Sara Duterte. Sa totoo lang po, gusto ko siyang humarap sa paglilitis upang maipaliwanag ang mga issue upang sumagot sa mga tanong ng taong bayan at upang harapin anumang pananagutan kung ito'y nararapat. Dahil ang paninilbihan sa taong bayan ay hindi po pribilehiyo, kundi isa ring pananagutan. Public service is not just a privilege, rather it carries also huge responsibilities. Sa loob po ng mahabang panahon, nasanay na ang ilang matataas na opisyal kapag may kapangyarihan, may lusot. Kapag mataas ang posisyon, immune sa tanong o investigasyon. Tama na, panahon nang baguhin ito. Kung tunay po na walang kasalanan si VP Duterte, dapat siya mismo ang manguna sa pagbubukas ng lahat ng dokumento, paggamit ng budget at mga hakbangin niya bilang pangalawang Pangulo at kalihim ng DepEd. Walang dahilan para umiwas kung malinis po ang konsensya. Ang boto kong yes ay hindi pagtatanggol sa kanya, kundi pagtatanggol sa legalidad ng proseso. Hindi po ito ang wakas. Kung may basihan at sa tamang panahon, hindi po ako magdadalawang isip na suportahang muli ang isang lehitimo at makatarungang impeachment. Dahil ang pamahalaan po ay para sa taong bayan, hindi po para sa iilang nasa puder. Maraming salamat at mabuhay po ang sambayanang Pilipino.
Maraming salamat, Senador Erwin Tulfo. Ginoong Sekretary.
Senator Tulfo, Rafi.
Senator Rafi Tulfo is hereby recognized to explain his vote.
Mr. President, my vote is yes. Let me explain my vote. My dear colleagues, in our Constitution, the sovereign Filipino people agreed to establish a government that will run our country. Malinaw dito kung ano ang kapangyarihan ng bawat sangay. Ang legislatura ang tagagawa ng mga batas. Ang ehekutibo ang tagapatupad ng batas. On the other hand, ang Korte Suprema naman ang taga-interpret o tagapaliwanag ng batas kapag may hindi malinaw dito o may pagtatalo kung paano ito ipapatupad. Kaya naman, ang respeto ng bawat sangay ng gobyerno sa isa't isa ay mahalaga upang tuloy-tuloy ang maayos na pagpapalakad ng ating gobyerno. Under the Constitution, it is the House of Representatives that shall have the exclusive power to initiate all cases of impeachment. Wala po tayo papel sa proseso na yan. Our role only comes when a valid articles of impeachment complaint is filed before us. Mr. President, the case before the Supreme Court is about the impeachment initiation procedure before the House of Representatives. Whether a case of impeachment has been initiated according to the text and spirit of the Constitution. Of course, I will not delve into the correctness of the decision of the Supreme Court, but I believe it is within their authority to interpret the Constitution and declare whether the actions and processes before the House is constitutional. And so, we must accord the decision of the Supreme Court the same respect that they give the laws that we enact as the legislative. That is the scope and limitation of our powers. Having said that, allow me to go to the clear, dispositive portion of the decision. Sa dulo po ng 97-page decision, ito po ang sinabi ng ating Korte Suprema. Una, the articles of impeachment are unconstitutional and are deemed null and void ab initio. In other words, walang bisa nung simula pa lang. Second, the court said, the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to constitute itself into an impeachment court. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagkaroon ng Senado ng kapangyarihang maglitis bilang impeachment court. Mr. President, I agree that we should abide by the decision of the court to avoid any constitutional crisis. And if I were to take the duty to my heart, I believe was validly convened. That's my vote. With that said, however, there are concerns raised regarding the decision. So it is important for the Supreme Court to address these concerns. I have faith in the Supreme Court that it will perform its mandate. That's all. Thank you, Mr. President.
I want to register my affirmative vote to adhere with the Supreme Court decision and to archive the articles of impeachment. The Supreme Court has already spoken in a crystal clear language the court unanimously ruled that the articles of impeachment against the Vice President are unconstitutional. That the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to constitute ourselves as the impeachment court, and that the decision of the High Court is immediately executory. The ruling is clear. Wala na dapat tayong impeachment na pag-uusapan sa ngayon. This principle of checks and balances of the co-equal branches of our government is the very foundation of our democratic and republican way of life. The separation of powers allocates to each branch certain powers and prerogatives that other branches may not question or interfere with. Disrupt that delicate balance and we shake, if not threaten, the foundation of our democratic system. When that happens, the people's faith in the various institutions of our government will be lessened. God forbid, we do not want to come to a point when our people no longer trust our courts. Sa ngayon, meron na pong unanimous decision ang ating Korte Suprema, igalang po natin ito. That is why I voted in favor of the motion to adhere with the Supreme Court decision. But let me be very clear. Hindi ko sinasabi na hindi tayo sang-ayon sa accountability. Sa pagkakakilala ko sa mga Duterte, hindi sila tumatakbo sa kanilang responsibilidad. Haharapin at harapin nila ang anumang hamon ng panahon basta ginawa lamang po ito sa tamang paraan. Nabanggit din ni Vice President Sara Duterte na handa niyang harapin ang impeachment case laban sa kanya. Ang sabi ko nga noong nagsalita ako rito last June para isuggest na ibalik ang articles of impeachment sa House of Representatives upang matingnan at masigurong nasusunod ang tamang proseso. I said that justice done the wrong way is not justice at all. Marami namang mekanismo upang mapanagot ang kahit sino mang opisyal ng gobyerno na may pananagutan. Kung meron mang pananagutan, ang mahalaga ay nagagawa ito sa tama at legal na paraan. Mr. President, mag-move on na tayo upang mas magampanan natin ang ating pangunahing mandato at ito ay ang magpanday ng mga batas. Batas na makakatulong sa mga mahirap nating kababayang Pilipino. Napakarami pa rin sa ating mga kababayan ang walang maayos at disenteng trabaho. Napakaraming pamilya ang natutulog sa gabi na walang laman ang tiyan. Napakarami pa rin sa mga mamamayan nating mga nagsasangla ng kalabaw, nagbebenta ng ari-arian sa oras ng tinamaan sila ng sakit, at napakarami pa rin Pilipino ang hirap makakuha ng mga serbisyo at tulong mula sa gobyerno. Kaya magtrabaho na lang muna tayo. Nabibigyan na po ang Pilipino dahil sa ingay ng politika. Politikang hindi naman masasaing sa umaga, politikang hindi naman pwedeng magamit pambayad sa tuition sa paaralan, politikang hindi naman makapagbibigay lunas sa may mga sakit. Let us buckle down to our work. The people expect nothing less from us. Ever since, I am for peace and unity. Nakikiusap po ako na magkaisa na tayo para makapagserbisyo na tayo sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I vote no. The 1987 Constitution entrusted the duty to try and decide all cases of impeachment to the Senate. Today, we are voting to abandon this mandate. I reiterate that the Supreme Court decision is not yet final. Kahit paano mo baliktarin. So, make no mistake, this was an act of the Senate. It is our institution which, in the words of colleagues, killed the articles of impeachment. Ang pinanggagalingan ko lamang po dito, pananagutan. Our people must have the power to make the highest rulers accountable. The process of impeachment is meant to question the powers that be and whether they deserve that power. In short, karapat-dapat ka ba? Hindi po dapat mahirap at teknikal ang impeachment. Taliwas ito sa intent ng framers. It should not be taxing to hold power to account. Anything that will make it easier for a public officer to evade accountability should be opposed. Ang hangad ko sana ay matulungan natin ang isa't isa. Tulungan natin ang ating mga kababayan na sagutin ito ng buo, ng may tapang at ng walang paligoy-ligoy. Madismiss man natin ngayon o ma-archive ang articles of impeachment, mas mahirap i-dismiss o i-archive ang daing ng mga tao sa pananagutan at katarungan. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Risa Ontiveros. Secretary.
Senator Lacson.
Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson is recognized to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without the words immediately executory and the phrase on 25 July 2025, which held, among others, that the articles of impeachment are null and void ab initio, and that the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction over the same, I would have voted in favor of the amended motion because I have always maintained that we must respect and not disobey the Supreme Court. But since there's still a pending motion for reconsideration filed by the House of Representatives through the Solicitor General, I believe that the July 25 ruling is by no means final until it rules on the motion for reconsideration with finality. That being said, I would rather wait, not preempt, the final ruling of the High Court. It is for these reasons that I abstain, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Lacson. Mr. Secretary.
Senator Lapid.
Senator Lito Lapid is recognized.
Mr. President, rinirespeto ko po at ginagala ko ang kataas-taasan hukuman. Ang boto ko po ay yes. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Senator Lapid. Secretary.
Senator Legarda.
Senator Lauren Legarda is recognized to explain her vote.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Supreme Court has ruled with clarity. It declared the impeachment complaint not only constitutionally barred, but void from the beginning, and further held that the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction over the matter. This decision, by express pronouncement, is immediately executory. We in the Senate are stewards of the Constitution and the rule of law. Our fidelity must be strongest precisely when institutions are under strain or pressure. To proceed as though the ruling were uncertain or optional would be a departure from our constitutional duty. This manifestation is a commitment to respect the present authority of the court's decision while remaining open to its final word. I cast my vote without prejudice to the Supreme Court's
lamang sila ng humihiyaw na dambuhalang sanggol. Ginawa ng bonjing na armas ang impeachment. Ang dating para sana sa kaayusan ng sistema, ginagawang pampagulo, panakot at sandata laban sa mga kinaiinggitan, kinaiinsecuran ng mga lulong sa kapangyarihan. Galangin naman natin ang Korte Suprema. Huwag tayong umastang Supremer Court. Supremest pa. Wala namang ganun ah. Sa mga kapatid kong senador, paano tayo magiging dakilang mambabatas kung tayo mismo ay hindi susunod sa batas? Ang boses ng Korte Suprema ay boses ng konstitusyon. At kung sino man ang sasapaw sa boses na ito ay isa lang ang tono. Ambisyon. Kaya naman, mag-move on na tayo. Magtrabaho at huwag konsintihin ang isang spoiled na bonjing. Huwag nang busugin ng pabor. Huwag nang pumayag dahil may pabuya. Huwag tayo magpalaki ng buwaya, baby pa nga ang tawag, lulong na. Sa mga mahal kong kongresista, may suggestion po ako. Ito, suggestion lang naman, ano? Huwag niyong masamain. kesa inaatupag ninyong palitan ang pinili ng taong bayan, binoto at minahal. Bakit di nyo nalang palitan ang tao, kayo naman lang ang pumili? Ayaw paawat ng iba sa kaka-flex. Ano kaya kung yung speaker nyo na lang ang paltan nyo? Kaya nyo yan. At dahil dito, bumuboto ako ng malakas na oo. Maraming salamat po.
Ako po ay nagpupugay at malalim na paghanga sa isinagawang paliwanagan ni Senator Marcoleta, Senator Soto, Senator Ontiveros, Senator Lacson, Senator Pangilinan, Senator Aquino, Senator Pia Alan Cayetano, Senator Raffy Erwin Tulfo, Senator Mig Subiri. Ang palitan ng mga paniniwala sa plenaryo ay simbolo ng humihinga at buhay na Senado. Nagagawa natin ang kalayaan at kasarinlan. Isang demokrasya na naririnig ang bawat naratibo. Tagahanga po ninyo ako lahat. At alam naman po ninyo, sa maiksing panahon ko rito, ako ay pro-Westminster. At ngayon, system po, system. Yan po yung parang sa UK. At yan po yung nakita ko ngayong araw na ito. Ang lahat ng mga senador ay gising, ang lahat ng mga senador ay nandito, ang lahat ng mga senador ay nagtatrabaho sa ayon sa kagustuhan kong makita ko ang bawat debate at ang bawat opinion ng bawat isa. Kaya nagpapasalamat po ako. Napakagandang araw po nito sa inyong lahat at sa ating lahat. Ngayon, mga kababayan, gusto ko pong malaman ninyo na ako po ay nagbibigay pugay sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin ngayon. Malamang, ang sasabihin ninyo, siyempre si Robin Padilla, ang boto niyan, alam na natin. Eh, mabuti po, alam nyo na. Ang gusto ko lamang pong liwanagin ay ito. Ang nais ko, sana, ay katapusan na nito. Dismissal. Una pa lang po, bago pa lang po kami na-convene, labag na po sa kalooban ko na matuloy ito. Nakita niyo naman po, noong nagkasumpaan, talagang ipinaglalaban namin na politika ito. Politika ito At kailangan ng due process. Pero natuloy pa rin po, nag-convene pa rin. Pero hindi pa rin po ako nagsuot ng robe dahil para sa akin ay protesta. Dahil ayoko po talagang matuloy. Bakit? Sa loob po ng matagal na panahon ni Bonifacio, ni Aguinaldo, panahon ni Aguinaldo, ni Quezon, panahon ni Marcos Sr., ni Aquino Sr., ni Aquino Jr., ni Arroyo, Marcos Jr., PRRD Duterte, HOR ngayon, at Vice President Duterte. Hindi na po tayo natapos sa usapin ng politika at yaan po ay pinagtibay ng Supreme Court sa kanyang desisyon na sinabi niya mismo, oo, politikal ang impeachment, pero hindi kailanman dapat masagasaan nito ang karapatan ng tao. Malinaw at yun po ang pinaglalaban natin at kailangan dumaan sa tamang proseso. At yan po ang pinaglalaban natin. Ngayon, mga mahal kong kaibigan, pagkatapos po natin marinig ang bawat punto ng bawat isa, sana po matapos na po ito at harapin na po natin ang mga tunay na problema ng bayan. Katulad po ng sweldo, katulad po ng agrikultura, pagkain, kaguluhan sa West Philippine Sea, sa buong mundo. Ang dami po nating dapat pag-usapan. Total, meron pa naman pong Pebrero. Ang sinabi naman po ng Supreme Court at ang Supreme Court naman po, ang siya naman po dapat na sinasabi ng saligang batas. Malinaw po. Matagal po akong ginawang chairman ng constitutional ni dating Pangulo Mig Subiri. Pinagkatiwalaan niya po tayo, pinag-aralan po natin yan at malinaw sa konstitusyon na ang magpapaliwanag ng saligang batas ay Supreme Court. Kaya sana po, ako'y malungkot talaga dahil napunta tayo sa archive. Yung archive, binasa ko pwede pala yan hukayin anytime, kung ano man. So, hindi pa rin tayo natapos. Kaya sana po, bagamat ang boto ko ay yes, aray. Gusto kong malaman at mailagay po sa lathalan ng Senado na ako'y may reserbasyon dyan. Malaking reserbasyon ko dahil gusto ko dismissal. Tapusin na natin to. Hindi pa tayo natapos eh. Total, nasabi na lahat. Oh, ilang oras ang banatan. Pero hindi pa rin natapos. Kaya po, mga mahal kong kababayan, bago po ako umupo, nais ko pong malaman ninyo na ang inyong Senado ay tumatakbo. Huwag po kayong malungkot sa mga hindi pabor sa amin o sa mga pabor naman. Isa lang po ang masasabi ko. Tigilan na natin ang politika at mahalin natin ang bawat isa, magkaisa na tayo, pag-usapan natin ang mga totoong problema.
Unang-una, ang boto na no ay hindi nangangahulugan na hindi natin nirerespeto ang pasya o kapangyarihan ng Korte Suprema. Lalo-lalo na't hindi pa ito pinal. Wala sa hanay ng mga senador na bumoto ng no ang nagsasabi na hindi dapat respetuhin ang pasya ng Korte Suprema. Hintayin lang ang final decision. Kung tutuusin, kung hinintay lang natin ang final decision, hindi tayo nagpasya at wala tayong ginawa na mga hakbang, out of respect, dahil nga pending pa, wala tayong nilabag sa pagiging immediately executory ng desisyon. Kaya, kataka-taka kung bakit kailangan magkaroon ng archiving. Pero pasya ito ng mayorya. Mr. President, bumoto tayo ng no dahil naniniwala tayo. Mas mainam sana na hintayin nga ang resolusyon ng motion for reconsideration. Dagdag siyempre dyan ang pagkilala ng prinsipyo ng co-equality sa House of Representatives. Yung interchamber courtesy, yung pagbibigay galang sa isang co-equal, respeto sa isang co-equal. Kaya nais po sana nating ilay muna yung matter on the table. To vote to archive the complaint despite the MR still pending, I believe, Mr. President, and I believe the others who voted no share this position, is premature, as the ruling may still be reversed or modified. In addition, at ito nga ang isang contention, to vote to archive the impeachment complaint, if at all, is to give the Senate the powers which are only reserved for the impeachment court, deciding, trying, and deciding impeachment cases. Precedents were cited in that the Senate and not the impeachment court acted on the impeachment cases of former President Estrada and Merceditas Gutierrez. But we submit, iba yung facts nung mga kaso na yon. In the Estrada case, supervening events led to the termination of the trial. In the case of Gutierrez, the Senate did not convene as an impeachment court. Kaya iba, apples to oranges, ika nga. We believe archiving the case is a matter exclusively within the powers and jurisdiction of the Senate Impeachment Court. Kaya lay on the table sana. Must be respected. The Supreme Court ruled that the impeachment court did not acquire jurisdiction, and its ruling rendered the official acts of convening as a court, of taking the oath, issuing of summons, and remanding the complaint as, for all intents and purposes, nullified. Kaya tinanong natin kanina, ano na ang nangyari sa constitutional duty and constitutional power as sole power to try and decide impeachment cases. We took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, and that includes our own determination whether or not the nullification of the acts of the impeachment court, an exclusive sole power to try and decide impeachment cases, if the ruling was based on the facts and not on a misappreciation of the facts. Kaya nga, sana hinintay ang motion for reconsideration. The impeachment court being ousted of its jurisdiction by the Supreme Court is unprecedented, based, and sadly, as we read the ruling, the decision, based on the wrong facts. It is disturbing. The distinguished minority leader pointed out, point for point, in his interpellation and manifestation, the errors in the facts that the Supreme Court based its findings of grave abuse. I reiterate, one cannot be right with the law if one is wrong with the facts. And that's why napakahalaga nung motion for reconsideration. There is still an opportunity for the errors to be corrected, kaya nandyan ang MR. And this is the reason why we voted no. Napaka-precedent setting nitong nawalan ng jurisdiksyon ang impeachment court, nawalan ng kapangyarihan o isinantabi ang kapangyarihan, sole power of the House of Representatives to initiate proceedings, at naway sa pamamagitan ng motion for reconsideration, mabalik yung ating kaninang nabanggit na ma-harmonize yung lahat ng mga constitutional provisions na hindi nag-aaway kung hindi lahat ay mabibigyan ng legal at binding effect. The power of judicial review, the sole power to initiate impeachment proceedings, and the sole power to try and decide cases of the Supreme Court, of the House of Representatives, and of the Senate. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan. Mr. Secretary.
Senator Sota.
The minority leader is recognized to explain his vote. More than 190 years ago, Justice Joseph Story warned that impeachment requires a lofty sense of duty, a deep responsibility to future times, as well as to God. His words remind us that we serve not only the present, but generations yet unborn, and that our actions must be anchored in constitutional fidelity and historical consciousness. With that solemn duty in mind, may I address the decision of our Supreme Court. Mr. President, the decision of the Supreme Court is very clear, that it left no doubt nor space for any other interpretation. Accordingly, I place on record my position in adhering to the Supreme Court's ruling, a decision that declared that the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction over the impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte because the complaint transmitted to us was null and void ab initio. Bakit natin ipinipilit ang isang bagay na malinaw na wala sa ating kapangyarihan? Nagsalita na po ang Korte Suprema. Hindi saklaw at walang jurisdiksyon ang Senado. Tapos na ang usapin. Patay na ang kaso. Mr. President, we must never forget that the Supreme Court is the final interpreter of our Constitution. It is not merely one of three co-equal branches. It is the guardian of the rule of law. If we, the very makers of law, choose to defy its authoritative interpretation, then we commit an unforgivable assault on our democratic institutions, and we undoubtedly invite a constitutional crisis, a breakdown of checks and balances where anarchy replaces order and chaos becomes the norm. Mr. President, let us be clear. No one is above the law. Not the President, not the Vice President, not even the Senate when it sits as an impeachment court. The Constitution is not just an ordinary law. It is the supreme law of the land. And if we betray it to serve political passions or popular sentiment, then we betray the Republic itself. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines, in a statement, said that defying the High Court's ruling would, in effect, erode the very foundations of the legal order. And I agree with this, Mr. President. At the expense of sounding like a broken record, I would like to say again that the Supreme Court is the final interpreter of our Constitution. Tagapagpaliwanag ang Korte Suprema ng saligang batas. At kapag may hindi pagkakaintindihan kung paano dapat ipatupad, unawain ng batas, kabilang ang proseso ng impeachment, ang interpretasyon ng kataas-taasang hukuman ang siyang mananaig. Kaya naman, kapag nagsalita ng Korte Suprema, dapat itong igalang at sundin ng lahat. Ginoong Pangulo, batid natin na isang mahalagang mekanismo ang impeachment upang mapanagot ang pinakamatataas na opisyal ng pamahalaan na lumalabag o umaabuso sa kanilang posisyon at kapangyarihan. Sa ilalim din ng mekanismong ito ay may pagkakataon para may pagtanggol ang kanilang sarili. Kaya naman dapat na magamit at maisagawa ng tama ang proseso at masiguro na ang mga naatasan ng saligang batas na magsagawa nito, ang House of Representatives at ang Senado, ay tumupad sa kanilang tungkulin ng may integridad at walang pagmamalabis sa kapangyarihang ipinagkaloob sa kanila. Hindi na sana dapat maulit ang pagkakamaling nasaksihan natin mahigit 2 dekada na ang nakalipas sa kaso ng aking ama, si dating Pangulong Joseph Estrada. Kung inyong natatandaan, noong impeachment trial ng aking ama, pinagkaitan siya ng pagkakataon harapin ang mga paratang sa kanya dahil pinairal ang pansariling interes at hindi tumalima sa kanilang tungkulin ang mga prosecutors mula sa mababang kapulungan sapagkat nag-walk out po sila. Nakakadismaya ang pansariling interes, matinding emosyon at inunang pamumulitika dahilan upang humantong tayo sa sitwasyong sinabi ng Korte Suprema na may malinaw na paglabag sa ating saligang batas. Had we decided to ignore the Supreme Court ruling and proceeded with the impeachment trial, we risk undermining the judiciary's role as the final arbiter of constitutional issues, and this will definitely create a dangerous precedent where future legislatures could just bypass court rulings they deem unwarranted. Mr. President, my dear colleagues, there should be a balance of power among the three branches of government, and this representation does not wish the Senate to be in a direct collision course with the Supreme Court amid calls for us to proceed with the trial. I refuse to be a part of the Senate. I refuse to be part of a Senate that defies the law, disrespects the courts, and undermines the very system of justice we claim to uphold. To my colleagues who insist on pressing forward, I ask these questions. If we cannot obey the law, do we still deserve to be called lawmakers? If we cannot respect the Constitution,
na binigyan ng kapangyarihan ng ating konstitusyon bilang huling hukom na ipaliwanag kung ano ang batas at kahulugan nito at magdesisyon ng pinal sa isyung ukol sa konstitusyon. By recognizing the authority of the Supreme Court on the matter, the Senate does not abandon its mandate and its wisdom as an independent political body, nor does it concede or submit to a co-equal branch of the government. We are simply upholding the rule of law. At kung susuway tayo sa desisyon ng Supreme Court sa isang isyung konstitusyonal, binabaliwala natin ang konstitusyon. Ito ay magdudulot ng isang krisis sa ating saligang batas at lipunan na hindi makakabuti para sa taong bayan. As a functional society governed by the rule of law, we must accord our democratic institutions with respect, value their guidance, recognize their competence, and cherish their independence. Mr. President, pinapatunayan ng desisyon na ito na makakaasa ang tao na ang due process ay hindi lang guni-guni o kasabihan walang katuturan. Na ang due process ay para sa lahat at hindi lang para sa mga kakampi. Isang patunay na mapabisi presidente man o ordinaryong Pilipino, makakasigurado tayo na ang mga institusyon, ang Korte Suprema at ang Senado ay handang ipagtanggol, pahalagahan at bantayan ang ating mga karapatan. Without the rule of law, people may act without accountability, government leaders may act on personal interest, individual rights can no longer be guaranteed. Without the rule of law, there can be no justice, no order, and no real democracy. To end, I would like to quote Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Leonen, who penned the decision. There is a right way to do the right thing at the right time. This is what the rule of just law means. This is what fairness or due process of law means, even for impeachment. Maraming salamat po.
Both sides have fought bitterly at the electoral struggle to articulate what they respectively believe to be the correct position or view on the issues involved. Passions had run high as demonstrators, whether for or against impeachment, took to the streets armed with their familiar slogans and chants to air their voice on the matter. Various sectors of society, from business, retired military, academe, denominations of faith, offered suggestions for a return to a state of normalcy in the official relations of governmental branches. Through all these, and as early as the time when the articles of impeachment had been constituted, the court was specifically asked, told, urged, and argued to take no action of any kind and form with respect to the prosecution by the House of Representatives of the impeachment complaint. When the present petitions were knocking, so to speak, at the doorsteps of the court, the same clamor for non-interference was made through what are now arguments of lack of jurisdiction, non-justiciability, and judicial self-restraint, aimed at halting the court from any move that may have a bearing on the impeachment proceedings. The court did not heed the call to adopt a hands-off stance as far as the question of constitutionality of initiating the impeachment complaint is concerned. What lies in here, is an issue of genuine constitutional material which only the court can properly and competently address and adjudicate in accordance with clear-cut allocation of powers under our system. The claim, therefore, that the court, by judicially entangling itself with the process of impeachment, has effectively set up a regime of judicial supremacy is patently without basis in fact and in law, because it is not at all the business of the court to assert dominance, judicial dominance, over the other two great branches of government. Rather, the raison d'etre of the judiciary is to complement the discharge by the executive and legislative of their own powers to bring about ultimately the beneficent effects of having founded and ordered our society upon the rule of law. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the institution that is the Supreme Court together with all other courts, has long held and been entrusted with the judicial power to resolve conflicting legal rights regardless of the personalities involved in their suits or actions. The court has dispensed justice over the course of time, unaffected by whomsoever stood to benefit or suffer therefrom, unafraid by whatever imputations or speculations could be made to it, so long as it rendered judgment according to the law and the facts. No one is above the law or the Constitution. This is a basic precept in any legal system which recognizes equality of all men before the law as essential to the law's moral authority and that of its agents to secure respect for and obedience to its commands. Perhaps there is no other government branch or instrumentality that is most zealous in protecting that principle of legal equality other than the Supreme Court, which has discerned mayoriya ng mga miyembro ng Korte Suprema, kabilang na si dating Chief Justice Puno, Suprema, kabilang na si dating Chief Justice Puno, dating Justice Carpio, dating Justice Ascuna, dating Justice Panganiban. Ano nga ba itong Francisco ruling na pinag-uusapan natin to? Ano nga ba ang pinagkapareho, pinagkaiba nito sa kasalukuyan nating hinaharap? At bakit ko ba ito tinatanong? Ginoong Pangulo, bahagi ako ng Kongresong nagtangka na i-impeach si dating Chief Justice Davide. Bakit ko sinabing tangka? Dahil pinigilan po kami ng Korte Suprema. In-enjoin at nag-issue ng TRO ang Korte Suprema at ito yung desisyong yun. Francisco, case na palaging sinasite po natin. Ano bang pinagkapareho? Ang aligasyon laban sa nasasakdal noon na si Chief Justice Davide, kaugnay din ng corruption. Daang milyon din. Ang pinag-usapan, initiation of impeachment na dapat sole prerogative din ng Kamara. Ang pinag-usapan, ano bang definisyon ng initiation na dapat sole jurisdiction din ng Kamara? Ang tanong ko po ay simple. Noong mga panahong yun, nasaan po lahat na nagrereklamo ngayon? The very supremacy of the Supreme Court is being called into question, and with it, the very foundation of the rule of law. As Senate President and as a member of this chamber and as a member of the bar, I will not sit idly by and allow this. At stake is the very idea that justice should be governed by laws that apply to all, equally to all, rather than the whims and caprices of public opinion. As Justice Frankfurter once said, if one man can be allowed to determine for himself what is law, every man can. That means first chaos, then tyranny. Legal process is an essential part of democratic process. Whether it's a mob or a minority, bias and prejudice blinds, divides, and destroys. Former U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor also said it best. The law provides necessary continuity amidst our constantly shifting political landscape. It guarantees everyone will be treated equally, whether they are in today's or yesterday's majority, so they know what to expect, whether what they do is popular or unpopular at that time. The courts, Mr. President, with the Supreme Court at the helm, are the guardians of the rule of law, making sure everyone plays by the same rules and receives equal justice. For the rule of law to prevail, the High Court must act as a compass, not as a political cheerleader, impartially applying the law by calling out violations, not swayed by public opinion or political allegiance. Respect for the rule of law, Mr. President, requires all of us to adhere to final or immediately executory decisions of the court, even when there is a winner and a loser, to avoid deadlocks and maintain legal order. Respect for the rule of law does not bar disagreeing with court decisions, nor from forming our own opinions on the meaning and intent and letter of the spirit of the Constitution. However, we must also have the humility to accept when we are wrong once the Supreme Court has already decided. Respecting the court only when you win or when it aligns with your belief is not respect for me. It is plain arrogance or if at all, a power play. Cherry-picking court rulings destroys the judiciary's purpose. Disobeying the High Court's decision is a violation of the law because under our Constitution, decisions of the Supreme Court form part of the law of the land. I made these remarks, Mr. President, amidst recent calls for this august body to disregard the Supreme Court's recent ruling in Duterte v. HOR. These calls for judicial disobedience have been aided and abetted by so-called legal luminaries and experts who fancy their wisdom and knowledge of the Constitution as better, higher, more supreme than that of the Supreme Court. Miyembro po ba sila ng Supremist Court? Miyembro po ba sila ng Super Supreme Court? Sa pagkakaalam ko po, iisa lamang ang Korte Suprema. At ayon sa ating konstitusyon, Korte Suprema ang bukod tanging pwedeng makapagsabi kung ano ang kahulugan ng ating saligang batas. Walang iba. Allow me to demonstrate, for example, Mr. President, the legal gymnastics these people have been undertaking. In the past, and I have borne the brunt of this, sabi nila, forthwith ang sinabi sa Senado, ibig sabihin yan agad-agad. Despite the rulings of the Supreme Court that say it is within a reasonable time. Pero doon na tayo sa agad-agad. Sabi ng rules ng House, dapat i-refer ng SecGen immediately sa Speaker. 2 buwan bago niya ginawa yun. Oh, okay lang sa kanila. Di naman sila nagreklamo. Immediately po ang gamit, ha? Hindi forthwith. Sabi naman ngayon ng Korte Suprema, immediately executory. Ay, teka lang. Hintayin muna natin. Hindi ba final? Kapag ka convenienteng gamitin yung mga salita pabor sa posisyon nila, edi okay lang. Kapag ka hindi naman, ay hindi rin. Hindi po ganun dapat yon. Hinihiling nila ngayon sa Senado na ipagpaliban muna ang anumang aksyon para intayin ang anumang desisyon ito kaugnay sa motion for reconsideration na inihain ng Kamara sa Korte Suprema. Subalit tulad ng naipaliwanag na kanina kaugnay ng motion na pinagbobotohan natin ngayon, kung magbago man ang Korte Suprema sa kanilang desisyon na unanimous noong July 25, 2025, meron pong paraan at proseso pa ang Senado para sundin ang bagong desisyon yan ng Korte Suprema kung sakasakaling mangyayari po yan. In the past, it was also said, ang sino mang senator judge, dahil trabaho daw ng depensa yon. Eh bakit yung mga parehong tao yung pinag-uusapan? Dapat maghain tayo ng motion for reconsideration. Hindi ba trabaho din ng prosecution yon? Hindi naman po pwede na pwede lang pag kayo, hindi na pwede pag iba. Now the prosecution has actually filed a motion for reconsideration, and rightfully so, and not by this chamber. Noon kapag nung bumoto kami para i-remand ang impeachment complaint sa Kamara, pinapaboran daw namin yung nasasakdal. Sinabi ko na rin yan, na yung kontra sa impeachment at pabor sa impeachment, hindi ko didinggin. Na yung kontra at pabor kay Vice President Sara Duterte, hindi ko didinggin. Dahil may rason kung bakit babaeng nakapiring ang mata ang simbolo ng ating hustisya, na humahawak ng espada sa kabilang kamay at panimbang sa kabilang kamay. Dahil wala po dapat kinikilala ang hustisya na personalidad. Sino man ang nasasakdal, dapat pareho lamang po ang ating mga magiging desisyon. Sabi din nila, will of the people daw ito. Eh sino ba si people? Balikan po natin ang naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Ayon sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema sa panunulat ni Justice Malcolm sa Alejandrino versus Manuel Quezon, pinag-aaralan po ito ng mga first-year law students. Quote, the judiciary under its powers to interpret the Constitution and the laws has the duty and the right to declare what the will of the people is as expressed in the fundamental law of the land. Hence, where the acts of the executive or legislative departments violate the will of the people as expressed in the organic law of the land, it is the sworn duty of the judiciary to interpret and to declare that will of the people and the right of the citizen has been violated and or transgressed. Allow me to answer a few more, Mr. President, Your Honor. As I stated earlier, sabi ng ilan, hintayin natin na maresolbahan ang motion for reconsideration. Pero dun sa parehong araw na naghain ng motion for reconsideration ng Kamara, nagsalita ang tagapagsalita ng Korte Suprema at sinabing immediately executory pa rin ang desisyon. Sinahit ko rin kanina ang Section 1, Rule 16, AM number 10-4-20 ng Supreme Court na nagsasabi na ang resolusyon ay magiging executory lamang kapag ka ito'y nagkaroon ng entry of judgment maliban na lang kung sinabi sa desisyon na ito'y immediately executory na siyang nangyari sa kasong ito. Binanggit din kanina ni Senator Cayetano ang Section 4, Rule 39 ng Rules of Court na nagsasabi na immediately executory na mga desisyon ay hindi kailangan maghintay na maresolbahan anumang apela o motion for reconsideration na nakabinbin. Ginagamit din ang operative fact doctrine. Ang operative fact doctrine po ay exception sa rule ng null and void ab initio. Ito po ay hindi rule, ito ay exception sa rule. Gamit po ang sinulat na desisyon ni Justice Tony Carpio sa League of Cities versus Comelec. Ito ang sinabi po niya. The invocation of the operative fact doctrine is an admission that the law or act is unconstitutional. Bago po natin sabihin, gamitin natin to. Aminin niyo muna. Illegal at bawal ang ginawa ng Kamara. Sa parehong desisyon, sinabi din ni Justice Carpio, it will open the floodgates to wanton enactment of unconstitutional laws and the commission of unconstitutional acts and a mad rush for their immediate implementation before the court can declare them unconstitutional. This view, according to him, is an open invitation to serially violate the Constitution and be quick about it, lest the violation be stopped by the court. Sinabi din po ni Justice Carpio sa desisyong Aralio versus Aquino, those who acted in bad faith with gross negligence cannot invoke this doctrine. Hindi po pwedeng pakinabangan nung taong gumawa ng unconstitutional at illegal act ang doktrinang ito. Pwede lamang po itong gamitin ng mga partidong walang kinalaman dun sa ginawang mali, masama o dinaayon sa saligang batas. Ika nga, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands, and he who seeks equity must likewise do equity. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, kinondena din ng ilang legal luminaries tulad ng Felconsa na dating pinangunahan ng nanguna sa impeachment complaint na si Speaker Romualdez, ilang taon lamang ang lumilipas, na hindi daw, bagong requirement daw ang due process. Dagdag daw ito. Mr. President, Your Honors, they should read Francisco again. They forgot that lack of due process in the impeachment process had been raised and in fact was specifically mentioned in the separate concurring opinions. And allow me to quote the concurring opinion of Justice Panganiban. The due process clause enshrined in our fundamental law is a condition sine qua non that cannot be ignored in any proceeding, administrative, judicial, or otherwise. It is deemed written into every law, rule, or contract, even though not expressly stated therein. Hence, the House rules on impeachment, insofar as they do not provide the charged official with number 1, notice, and number 2, opportunity to be heard prior to being impeached, are also unconstitutional. Needless to say, the due process limitation on the impeachment process